of the University of Hawaii baseball program here over the last few years. Scott with, ladies and gentlemen, no hair.
No hair.
What is up with that?
I had a job interview, and they said they'd love to have me, but would it be the end of the world to get rid of the mullet? I said nope. And I went and I walked right to the barbershop right down the road and got a haircut.
Was this a job with Norm Chow? You had to cut your hair. No?
Nope, off island.
Now, what kind of job is this?
Well, it's something to pay the bills while I get to coach at Cuesta College. I'll be a account manager for a parking firm at Hotel San Luis Obispo.
Oh, sweet.
That's very nice.
Yeah, thank you.
You're leaving in a couple of days.
Yep.
You start your coaching gig on Monday. But you've been coaching already. I mean, you've been coaching youngsters. You've taken away a lot from your time here. What's been the most rewarding for you as you prepare to leave here, for now at least?
Right. Definitely the connections. I've created relationships with my teammates, and then people across the community that I'll forever have. I'm still going to stay connected here with that travel organization, GBG Pono. I'm going to travel across the mainland. Even when I'm not living here. As a coach. So, I've built a lot of great relationships, I feel like, including the one that we have, and continue to stay in touch. And that's definitely what what I'll remember the most. And then, of course, the bright lights at the less, right?
Yeah.
I'll always remember that.
I remember our conversation. We were setting this up, and you actually joked. This was right around the time Chaminade made the announcement that it was going to have the baseball program starting up. And I remember what you said, if I'm allowed to say it. You said, maybe when I come back, Chaminade's job might be mine, right?
Yeah,
right?
well, yeah, something along those lines. I mean, I'm anticipating them to post the job listing, and, I'll go after it. I think that'd be a great opportunity, and bring that college experience back to the islands real quick. I've always joked, I'll come back when I can get that head job at UH, but why not Chaminade first?
And Rich knows that, right?
Oh, I've talked to him.
Of course, Rich Hill, current University of Hawaii baseball coach. Scott is with us. All right, for the folks in attendance here, be honest, how many injuries did you play through at UH?
And are you injured now?
This year? Well, I played for a year and a half. My freshman and sophomore year, that was cut short due to COVID, with a torn right UCL. Got Tommy John. Rehab. That whole junior season was in the middle of my rehab, but I played through it. Didn't miss a game. And then I had a partial oblique tear this fall.
Ow.
Broken hand that I played through. Played through that at the beginning of the season. And then when I, ruptured my left elbow, it was like, oh well, the hand and the oblique didn't hurt too bad anymore. So, but it was one of those deals where it was an injured me or I got to watch. So
Man,
I wanted
so
to stay on the
you
field.
haven't been healthy for about 4 years.
My healthiest season, I've played 2 healthy games this year. It was the first 2 games of the year. It was the first 2 games of the year. Game 3, I dove for a ball against Washington State in the outfield and broke my hand. Ow. And then I basically played through it, practiced through it. So that never healed. And then once I tore my elbow against Santa Barbara, I guess the rest is history, right?
I still remember that trip. The next day, I think it was it was 2 days later when you came back into the game a short time later, and you had said to me, "I'm definitely not playing. I'm definitely not going to be in there."
Right.
Later, the game was played. You were in the game by the 9th inning. USC, I see you at USC. You say, "Yeah, I've told Coach I'm not going in there." By the 8th inning, you've played in the USC game.
Yep. I remember that. It was, I had my tennis shoes on untied. I didn't even have any type of tape. I didn't stretch. I didn't do anything. I had a stopwatch in my hand and a notebook. I was trying to pick the other pitcher's pitches. Mm-hmm. He comes up to me in the 8th inning. He goes, "Can you pinch run and play left field if I need you if it's a close game?" I said, "Yes, Coach." And
yeah, it's tough because you're sitting there. Everyone's playing. You're like, God, I want to get into the game.
Well, it was like a close game. It was maybe 11-9, or it was a high intensity game. Mm-hmm. And "Can you play left field?" I said, "Yes, sir," and ran out there. So it was a no doubter.
Hey, Scotty, tie your shoes.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the reflex, like the doctor hitting your knee, right? Yes, Coach. What are you going to miss about playing the game?
Definitely that that feeling of succeeding for my team. You know, that's why I kind of love coaching so much, because when, you know, a team has success, when you coach, you feel that satisfaction. But same thing as a player, you know, my job was to get on base and score runs. So, you know, play a good outfield, of course, but get on base and score runs. So anytime I could do that, I felt like I was providing for the team. And that's an element that I'll definitely miss.
What about, you know, you being such a high-quality baseball, Division I baseball player? It's got to be tough if you're going to the place you're going. What's it called again?
Cuesta College.
Cuesta College, and you go there, and it's like, these guys can't run as fast as I can. These guys can't do the things that I can. It's you've seen that. It's like why Magic Johnson was never a great basketball coach.
Yeah. They say Barry Bonds was the worst coach of all time.
Yeah.
You know, I think I've been working with, you know, amateur kids, you know, ages, you know, 10 to 17, and I don't really see that, you know. I can put aside how good I think I am, but at the end of the day, I'm not playing anymore.
Right.
You know, my job is now in junior college. These kids are extremely motivated, and they're probably raw talent. Maybe they didn't have the coaching in high school or, you know, wherever they came from. That's why they didn't go to a four-year university. Or maybe it's grades. Maybe they are extremely talented and it's grades. But, you know, my job there is to be a mentor and a coach and to draw that raw talent out of them so they can, you know, get onto a four-year university and, you know, be better than me. I want them. Yeah, you know, I want to play professional baseball. I didn't make it. Injuries, wasn't good enough. Whatever the case was, you know, that's my goal for all these guys, to go to a four-year university and then play professional baseball. You know, something that I wasn't able to do.
Keeping it real right here.
Yeah, that's what he's doing. Before I let you go, you're going into coaching, but you have shown an interest in broadcasting, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
totally.
I know your teammate Andy Archer. He wants to join us for at least an inning in the booth in the upcoming year. That's so you've not gone into broadcasting, but you got a blog now, right?
I do, yep. I started a blog, and it's been up for about a week. I've got 2 posts. I'm working on my 3rd right now, but I'm basically, you know, trying to build connections. I was a communications major. I love connecting with people, and I, you know, want to continue to progress in that And, you know, right now at 22 years old, it's the best time for me to start my career coaching, and I know that as I continue to just put experience under my belt, you know, broadcasting something that I can do at an older age, or coaching, you know, if I don't love it, I can, you know, transfer into this
look
world,
at us in this room. I mean, in broadcasting, we're self-made 100-airs. You know, it's you can make hundreds of dollars broadcasting, hundreds.
I would say give the website for the blog, but I think it's easier to just tell people your Twitter. So what's
the website for the blog is just scottyscott.org.
Oh, it's simple.
Oh, nice.
So that's easy. You know, the Twitter scottyscott.1, the Instagram scottyscott.1. So scottyscott.org. It's a free blog. You do have to sign up, but it's just so I can actually. There's an interactive. You know, you can send messages to me, comment, like, reply. And it's interactive to where I can see, you know, who's actually reading it, and, you know, who cares, and so I can interact with those people as well. Like I said, I'm just trying to build connections.
Okay, it's a .org, so it sounds like a nonprofit, so that people could go on there and donate money to you.
Correct.
Nice.
That's also correct.
Nice.
So I wasn't going to promote the donation side of things.
The
but
.org gave it away.
Yeah, but it is free, but you know,
if you want to help, you know, because there's costs to
exactly. Yeah, it is not free for me, but it's free for everybody else.
Yes.
Scotty, it's good to see you, man. And
thanks,
best of luck
Josh.
on the mainland, and I know we'll be seeing you back here in the islands very soon, all right?
I'll be back.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Scotty Scott.
Thank you, guys.
Yay!
Thank you.
University of Hawaii
Thank you.
baseball alum. Good to have him here at Growler Hawaii. Joining us here at Growler Hawaii, it is the Really Big Road Show with the sports animals here on ESPN Honolulu at 92.7 FM and 1420 AM. Coach, it's good to see you.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Can you hear me? Because I can't hear you, but that's okay.
Okay, can you hear us now?
It's okay. So, Josh, there you go. Thank you, Tiff, or who's ever working the board there.
That would be Tiff, the guy you see about every week for about 3 months.
He's one of your children.
I thought of this earlier today, Josh. So Chris is trying to do this impression of someone when he says it's a really big shoe.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know who he's impersonating?
I don't.
Oh. Well, and but that's even before my time. It's before your time.
Well, obviously I know who you're doing, so I was like, but no one else did. And I thought, well, if I asked Tiff, he won't know, because so maybe.
No, people will think I made it up.
That's what I thought.
No. I know who you're trying to impersonate.
It's a really big shoe.
Anybody?
Okay, you know what? No,
right.
We knew you knew that. I was going to ask the young
oldest guy
people
in the room
here.
knew it.
The old guy spoke up. I'm wondering if the young people have ever heard of Ed Sullivan.
I have.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
It's like the Beatles made their debut in the U.S. It's a really big shoe.
We got a really big shoe for you tonight. How about Lawrence Welk? My grandmother used to watch that sometimes. Lawrence Welk. You ever heard of Lawrence Welk? He had a bubble machine.
Sunday night.
Before they had it in strip bars, they had.
And what was on right
machine
before that, or was it right after?
Oh, I don't know.
Hee Haw.
Oh,
Remember
Hee Haw
Hee
was
Haw?
I remember Hee Haw.
Yeah.
How about growing up when you're little in the cartoons in the morning? You had
Saturday. Only once a
clutch
day.
cargo. No, during the weekdays, if you brush your teeth early and do everything, you know, while your brothers and sisters.
And they
are
had
eating.
that freaky, like it was like animated, but the mouth was real and moved,
Clutch
and it
cargo.
kind of freaked you out.
Clutch cargo with his pals Spinner and Paddlefoot.
Yeah.
And then also Space Angel. These are great.
Okay, this is great radio. Yeah.
People are going they're going down memory lane right now as we speak. You see, I got handed a sour beer. Have you ever had a sour beer?
I have not.
Bill brought it over. It's a beer that's kind of like sour.
And is that good?
Now, for people listening, it's a very small glass.
You put a little
I wouldn't
What do you
call
do with
this.
that?
I don't know. You have to ask Bill. But it's it's not like I'm in. What are you having over there?
I'm having the Cool Bay IPA.
I'm having the Cool Bay IPA.
I like to stay with
The local
products.
kind.
Yeah, for sure.
I think mine's local. Anyway.
Well, it's not too far from you, so.
Hey, we can talk about volleyball and stuff, but let's talk about sports. What are you paying attention to nowadays?
Yeah, it's been a rough summer. The Angels started like so good, and then it just.
I didn't want to touch that nerve, but since you went there.
So it was like, wow, in the first month they were amazing. We got Mike Trout, we got Shohei and Rendon, and Rendon's been out, and it's just, I moved on, and I also am a Bears fan, and then today I hear on the way over here they won't pay Roquan Smith. He's been the best defensive player they've had for. Anyway, probably should stick to volleyball. That's probably better.
Do you get burnt out on volleyball? You're at home going, where's the? I wish ESPN would have the volleyball channel.
We watched the Santa Barbara Senior Night last night on Spectrum. It was fun. Yeah,
you watched your own match.
5. Yeah.
Do you watch for yourself on the sideline? Don't lie.
No.
Come on.
No.
You go like, oh, look at me. I'm hot.
No.
Look,
I'm at home with my kids, and they're all heckling me and like, look, you're picking your – what are you doing there? You should have called timeout. You should have called – what did you sub him in for? Like, they're all just giving me grief.
I was telling these guys earlier, before you had a little more weight on you. It was a chubby Charlie.
You saying I was fat?
No, I'm fat. You were a little chubby. And then you had no hair. And now you've changed. You win a national championship. You're skinny Charlie, and you got a full head of hair. 2 national championships, and now then now you got a full head of hair. I'm betting you on the sideline, you kind of look at yourself, and when the kids aren't there, you pause it, right? There I am, pause.
No chance.
Yeah, and you're like, yeah, I'm hot.
No,
that doesn't.
Did
happen.
we ever talk about why I stand up the whole time?
Why does everybody stand up the whole time?
Well, there's limited number of seats, but I have one. Like if I want to sit down and have one,
you're entitled.
So when I first became a head coach, and there's all these things when you're an assistant coach, you're like, okay, when I'm the head coach, I'm going to, and I want to stand up. And there's a rule, literally, like you can only have one person standing up, right?
Like in basketball.
Yeah, so one guy can stand up. So like, okay, I'm the head coach, I'm going to stand up. And then when I was standing up, apparently my undergarments were binding. And my wife, bless her heart, pointed out to me that like, okay, you're kind of digging like every time. And we went through a whole series of different sort, size, shape, material, undergarments, and it none of it really seemed to work. So I'm just like, well, we tried that too, but so you know what? I'm just gonna stand up. So the stand up, sit down, so you don't get that binding. So I'm just gonna stand up the whole time. There we go.
Radio magic right now. This is something you are not going to get anywhere else that you're going to get at the really big radio show. The reason it's a really big shoe. That Charlie Wade stands up because his underwear goes up his butt. No matter what he did, he couldn't help out. So he's just going to stand
the whole time. And then it got to where I'd stand back at the back of the bench, and I'm dialoguing with guys. We're always like getting guys coming in out of the game. We're kind of so there was some like functional benefit to it as well, like dialogue with the guys coming in and out of the game, and and stuff that we've talked about in practice or that we're working on, and really it's become almost. It's kind of collaborative. Guys see that, coach? Right. Oh, yeah, that was really good. So
that's kind of cool.
And I'm back there, like I said, dialoguing with the guys that are either going in the game or hope to go in the game at some time pretty soon.
And it'd be cool is if you could, like the people who are sitting kind of behind you guys, the guys with a really good seat, you could be all, hey, you guys, this is what's coming up next. You could make it interactive and talk to the crowd a little bit.
It could.
I mean, not during the championship games, but, when you play.
I'd probably agree for that.
If you play somebody like Cal Poly or something, I don't know. Cal Poly's good. Take that back.
They don't have a men's volleyball team.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Girls volleyball team.
I feel really
so
bad
Scotty
about this.
Scott was on, and Scotty caught like his. He started coaching one of my really good friends' son, his career, and they started doing some privates and stuff. And I heard you guys saying he's going to Cuesta. Do you know where Cuesta College is?
No, is it in Cali?
It's near San Luis Obispo, but I don't think it's exactly
I
there.
was going to say it actually is in San Luis Obispo, but then you said Cal Poly, like. Because when you were saying Cuesta, and I said to Scotty, you don't even know where Cuesta is. You're right. They have no idea. It's in San Luis Obispo. It's beautiful. The Central Coast, if you're not familiar with the Central Coast,
I've driven by Malibu. I've driven by Pepperdine before. Is that kind of by there? No. I'm sorry. I'm not very good with geography. But Scotty Scott did say,
what the hell?
Scotty Scott did say that he was very honored to be your warm-up act before you came on today.
Scotty, I've played golf with him. We've been to some function. I've got to know him over the this time here and stuff. Because again, we have a close family mutual friend and stuff. As a rock solid young man. And I was glad to meet him and glad to see him and talked. And he started asking me questions about our team and the culture and like. You guys win. Like, you win all the time. Like, we want to win. What are you doing that we're not doing?
You know what? We were talking about that this morning, is when you talk about culture on teams, and you look at, and we were talking about Kevin Durant with all that's going on now, right? You heard the latest. He's like, it's either me or the coach. Pick. Kevin Durant went from a team with a great culture in the Golden State Warriors with Steph Curry and Steve Kerr. It was just great culture there. And then you go to designing your own team with no culture, and you get a guy like Kyrie Irving, who's all about himself. You have what's his name?
Harden for a little while.
Well, James Harden, yeah.
Well, now you got Ben Simmons.
Ben Simmons, who's just I don't know what's wrong with him. And then you go to a place like that, and everything falls apart. So it's super important, the culture that different teams have. So when you could say that a couple of eras in University of Hawaii football was bad culture, when the coaches and the players are yelling at each other during the halftime in the locker room, when the coaches are yelling back up at the booth to the offensive coordinator and all that kind of stuff. You've never had that problem since you've gotten there. Even before you were winning national championships, and I don't mean to embarrass you by this, but even before you were winning national championships, you were the best marketer out there. And you made everybody aware that, hey, we want to be a part of this community. We're going to get out in the streets. We're going to part of what you do. If you come to the University of Hawaii, is to be involved in the community and community service and everything else like that. Other guys have caught on, but that's part of why you have a winning culture.
So you really went on two things, and both are relevant for sure, because there is the culture part, like what you have on your team, and it's not always been great. It's great now, and it's been great for a while, but it took a while to get to this place. Derrick Inanucci told me a few weeks ago, since 2015, we have the highest winning percentage and the most number of wins in any team in men's collegiate volleyball. If you push that to 2019, so in the last 4 national championships, we've played in the final game. Every year there's been one. And our winning percentage is almost 90%. And that culture is because the buy-in. That the message, that you have a message, the message is clear, and everyone is bought in. That is much more easier to accomplish in theory than in practice.
Right.
That has to do with the coach coming in and they're like so you have to have a clear message. It has to be clearly defined. It has to be things that the guys can control. Because I see coaches, I see them in our sport, I see them in other sports, I see them in our campus and stuff, and you don't always have a message that guys can grab a hold of. That's something that we've been good at. And then the other part of it that you mentioned is about the selling it to the community, the marketing side of it,
right.
where it's like, look, we are so blessed to have the level of support. And men's volleyball is unique in this, but not the only team that gets support. Everybody loves UH athletics, and you see the amount of pride that people take into when any UH team excels, whether it's been softball, baseball, football, everybody. When a UH team is winning and representing Hawaii, there's so much pride, and everybody takes into it. Everybody gets behind it. So for me, I got here in '95, and it was like, I want to put a product on the floor every single night that this team, this community, a team that this community can support. So selling that to the community has been easy for me because it is so much, as I've said, like a part of our mana, the wind in our sails, like what it does for us, that the support that you get from the community, the people that are coming out and supporting our team on a nightly basis is significant. It's not a small thing at all. Right. So there's two halves of that. Selling it to the community, like you said, and then the other part where it's like getting the guys to buy in on a daily basis. Because at the end, all they control is the stuff that we've said to them that's important, and they can focus on what they can control.
Derrick Lowe is part of our University of Hawaii men's basketball broadcast team, as he's been a part of our countdown show the last couple of years. Good to see you, man.
Hey, good to be here. Good to see you, too.
Right on. You look great.
Oh, thank you.
You mentioned the beard. How long has that been growing now?
Oh, the beard, it's been, I call it the COVID beard. So it's been since, I literally started growing it since right before COVID, so 2019.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's
so
no
technically
gray. It's all
isn't the
brown.
COVID beard, though.
And it's all brown.
It was all brown?
There's
Do you
a little
see all the white?
Oh, it's dark in here.
Yeah.
But you decided to keep it, though. Why did you decide to keep it?
It looks hot. It looks hot.
You
Come
know,
on.
honestly, I've always wanted to grow a beard because I hate shaving. Like, it's the worst thing in the world. I have sensitive skin. I hate shaving. So I have scruff all the time. I wanted to grow a beard, but I couldn't get past the itchy phase. You know, at some point, it starts to get itchy, and I just used to drive me nuts.
Josh isn't old enough to know about that.
Well, I'm imagining there are some people sitting here who can relate. Some of you guys, yeah, they're not, and they can understand.
Yeah. Even a couple of ladies. But
Yeah, that even got Chris.
okay, sorry about that. Okay, I digress. I'm messing up the conversation. Go ahead.
So you've been traveling. You've been going around lately. I saw a picture on social media. The Mandaquits, who recently moved. Our good friend Bill O'Rear, and you guys were in California recently, right?
Yep. I was actually in LA for pretty much all of July. I was traveling with one of my players, and we just go up there as much as we can to get training from. We usually go to Irvine and train with that guy Jordan Lawley, J-Law, and we go there. NBA guys coming in every single day, working out with different people, just getting different looks. And just so happened, JJ's sister was up there doing soccer, so we happened to meet up, and then we got some work in as well. But we got to hang out for sure. What's been
when you've met some of these NBA guys that come in and out, who are some of the guys that you've kind of crossed paths with?
So Jalen Noel from the Timberwolves, he's a guard. Who else? Josh Giddey. I got an awesome opportunity to train with Josh Giddey and Jalen Suggs quite often, almost every day up over there.
Wow.
And who else?
Were you like Gary? Did you take a selfie and show everyone?
No, I didn't. I didn't take the selfie, but we did get to play a lot of one-on-one. We got to play 2-on-2, 5-on-5, so it was awesome. Good experience.
Where's your game at right now as you're playing against some of these guys?
You
can be honest. You don't have to play it.
My body gets very sore after I'm done working out with them. I think that's the biggest thing. But, playing-wise, it's good. I beat him.
Wow.
Yeah, I beat him. And then my body has to
It takes
take
a couple
the
of days?
consequences. Yeah, I got to recover, exactly.
Man.
We've been spending a lot of time with you recently on UH basketball, but I know high school basketball you've been following quite a bit too. But let's get to UH basketball really quickly as we go into the upcoming year. Anything you kind of excited about as we kind of lean in?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm excited about, I just got a text or saw the notification. Do we get like a 6'8" Serbian transfer guy?
Yes.
I mean, shoot. I mean, it's coming along nicely, but that's always good to see. Serbian players are really, really skilled. And to have one come in from Portland, I think that's awesome. I'm super excited to see the transformation and a healthy Samuta.
Yeah.
I think maybe that's what a lot of people want to see, right? Has it been 2 years so far, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a long time, but I'm really excited to see how he's grown and developed over these last 2 years. But other than that, I mean, UH had a great season last year, and it's just, seeing them take those forward steps.
I don't think you can recall going 2 years without playing at any point in your life. So, what do you have to do really to get back into that playing shape 2 years later?
That's a good question.
I think the biggest thing is, getting those game reps. And I think right now, the team is actually doing, some intra-squad scrimmages. They're doing a lot of pickup right now. So I think that's the most valuable thing. Because this last 2 years, aside from him having surgery, right, and having to take that time to recover, I know, I've seen video, I've seen pictures. He's been working out a lot. And, I know that that's never a factor for him. He's going to put in the work. But I think the most important thing is actually playing, getting that rhythm, getting that timing back. So I think they're starting to do that right now.
I'm curious when you see what he's able to do. He can do a number of different things, but if you had to kind of place an emphasis on him and what he needs to do on the floor to better the team, whether it's scoring, rebounding, defense, etc., how do you envision his strengths and how you would use them?
So right now, speaking of Samuta specifically, his strength is his athleticism and his activity on both offense and defense, and also his catch and shoot, his ability to stretch the floor. I think when he last was playing, he really started to open it up by catching and shooting and being a threat from the outside. The other thing he was doing good at was just like I said, being active, going in for offensive rebounds, getting those loose balls, putting it back up, slashing to the basket, finishing with dunks or finishes around the rim. That's what he does. And, I think in order for him to grow as a player, I would like to see that in-between game of him. Got to put the ball down. When people start to close out on you hard, can you put the ball on the ground 1-2 dribbles for a mid-range and try to mix it up a little bit, right?
When you talk about Samuta, he's going to be what, a junior or senior? Senior?
I believe a senior.
Okay, so you saw him like his first year, remember, which was like 6 years ago, a long time ago.
Yeah.
And then improvement from year 1 to year 2 to year 3, and now he hasn't played anymore. I wonder how much of I'm just wondering out loud, maybe you have an idea, how much of a step back they're actually taking by not playing in so long. In other words, are we going to see, in one hand, you have a guy that's dying to play basketball. If he's a senior, so you always have a little more confidence. I feel that you're a senior, whether it's in high school or college. But how long till he gets back to at least pick up where he left off?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't think there's an exact answer for that. I think that he's putting in the necessary work as we speak right now in order to be in that same shape as we last saw him. But, he's young. He can bounce back from injuries, recover quickly. But, again, just developing that timing, within the flow of things on the court. It's a different speed, right, when you're doing 5-on-5 in a game setting than it is in an individual workout or, with no live defense or anything. So, I think that's going to be the main thing.
It's kind of the same, although somewhat different with Juan Munoz because at least we kind of know Samuta. We've known him in high school. We've known him his first couple of years at UH. We haven't seen Munoz in a UH uniform, and he has not played in a while either. Any similarities or differences in that comeback? Because he's really more of a shooter, not necessarily known as that all-around guy. Any kind of similarities or differences you see there?
Oh, yeah, definitely. He's another thing I think everyone is waiting to kind of see how he comes out, right? Because the biggest thing I think from last season wasn't there always an emphasis on point guards, right? When he was out, who's going to step up in point guard? And Jovan had to take on most of that responsibility, and he had times where he was great, and he was tough, and then he had down times where he struggled a little bit, turnovers and whatnot, and just being that scorer. But it's going to have to be shared between him, Munoz, and Justice Jackson, right? I think that's his name, Justice Jackson.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Yeah, so they're going to have to share those duties and really bring that point guard position up.
Derrick Lowe, it's good to see you. And I know we'll be talking again as we get closer to November and the University of Hawaii men's basketball season starting. Derrick Lowe, ladies and gentlemen.
Yay! Thank you very much. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for coming.
All right. My guy's right here in the Danimals jerseys. I like it. All right. Are you ready for this trivia question?
What's your name?
I'm putting you on the spot, but what's your name?
Ryan.
Brian, you're the chosen one. All right, Brian, which boxer fought against Muhammad Ali and won?
Oh, there's more than one. Just name one of them.
Name one of them,
a boxer who beat, you know who Muhammad Ali is? Here, give him the microphone. A boxer that beat Muhammad Ali.
Can I phone a friend?
Yes, you can phone a friend. Joe Frazier. And Louis Good Radio.
Joe Frazier.
Down goes Frazier.
All right, that is correct. Woo! Thank you, Brian.
Joe Frazier did beat him, right? So
Yeah, yes.
Thank you very much. Ashlyn Gonzaga, everybody.
Joining us, Dr. Marshawn Martin, the Executive Director of the Arthritis Foundation. We're so appreciative to have you here as one of the important people here doing great things in our community. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you guys for having me.
Great. I didn't realize this place was so big because there's people clapping in the way back there and you can't hear them. I didn't know that because we're sitting in the corner that I didn't know this place was so big. But anyway, before we start with you, we want to find out some good information from you, Doctor. But folks, if you want to come on down and join us, Kanoa Leahey is going to be rocking the mic here in just a little while. Charlie Wade is here, and Derrick Lowe and his beard are here. And I saw Kelly McGill, 1992 football champ from the University of Hawaii. So we got a lot of folks coming down. We'll be here till 6 o'clock. Heineken Light, Dos Equis Amber, and Lager on special. The $4 pints of Heineken or $12 pitchers. And the food is unreal. And they started a new tradition today because they used to serve, like, if you wanted fries or tater tots. Now they've combined them both. If you say, I'd like it sports animal style, please. I feel like I've accomplished something myself here today.
I think you have.
Let's talk to Let's talk to Dr. Marshawn Martin. And again, she's the executive director of the Arthritis Foundation. And for folks that are listening, when you talk about arthritis, and is it just people's hands are sore? Well,
No, great question. And I think that's a misconception about arthritis in general is, number one, that it only affects the elderly, because we have over 1,400 keiki in Hawaii that have arthritis.
Oh.
And arthritis, the term is used for over 100 different forms of arthritis. So it's very encompassing. 1 in 5 of our Hawaii residents have arthritis. Very prevalent. More than likely, someone you know has arthritis in your family, your friends, your colleagues, so
okay.
Yes.
I had heard, I've been told, growing up, I love to, and I still crack my knuckles. And someone told me, hey, you know what, if you keep cracking your knuckles, you're going to get arthritis. Is that true?
It's a misconception, I guess.
I
don't think, we do have certain things that will, if you have arthritis developing, if you have a form of arthritis, things like that can cause inflammation. It's not going to help things to do that.
Okay, because I'm so gullible. And this is, my Aunt Demi told me this one time. I was like, 5 years old or something. And I swallowed the watermelon seed. And she said a watermelon plant's going to grow in your stomach. I had nightmares. I couldn't sleep. I sat there whimpering in bed. Didn't want to tell anyone. Watermelon seed. But that's enough about me. Let's talk about the Arthritis Foundation. Okay, so arthritis would be swollen what?
So yes, that is a form. So rheumatoid arthritis does create swelling in the knuckles and the joints, but there's anything from lupus, fibromyalgia, which is more autoimmune related, but it does cause joint pain. You might not see the swelling as much. So like I said, there are over 100 different forms of arthritis. I think what's really important to share, especially with your listening audience, is that sports can create arthritis. You receive enough injuries, you're probably going to develop arthritis in those joints or those areas where you have an injury. So
wow. So Scotty Scott.
Yeah. You might need to think about
can
that.
happen. Won't necessarily happen, but it can.
Okay. So you
Now-
watch out.
One of the things that the Arthritis Foundation is doing in this community, your big event is coming up on November 5th. You've got a big gala coming up. You want to tell us about it?
Yes, it's our Taste of the Town Gala, and it's on November 5th at the Leahey Resort here in Waikiki. It is our largest fundraiser of the year. We always have some type of guest speaker entertainment. It's a VIP reception and dinner, and then an auction. And of course, the proceeds all go towards putting that back into the community, helping those that suffer with arthritis through programs, research, patient education events.
What kind of things are you looking for your auction? There might be somebody listening.
Yes, any and all really. We're anything that we can even package into a gift basket's great. But restaurant gift cards, hotel stays, car rentals. Again, if you have an item that can be put into a gift basket, that would be wonderful that we can raffle
I'd give a
off.
gallon of gas. That's pretty valuable nowadays.
Nowadays, it's very valuable, yes.
And I think it's a great opportunity to show people, the vast array of things that the Arthritis Foundation does, right?
Correct, yes. Sharing our mission through the gala as well, and what we really want to do to make a difference and impact, until we find a cure, because that is our ultimate mission. We want to help ease the pain of those living with arthritis and provide the resources to do that.
Okay, so we're talking entertainment and stuff. What's going on?
Oh, it's still under wraps, but I'll be sure
could
to
you
let
please
you know.
Could you please email me when you find out?
I
So
will.
we don't want to leave
You'll be
everybody
one of the
hanging.
first to know, Chris, I promise.
right.
Yes, we have a committee and our leadership board. We're all working together, and we hope to have everything in place within about a week, and then we can share the details.
If there's other ways people can give back to the Arthritis Foundation, maybe they can't help with the event, but there are other ways they want to help the foundation out. How can they do that?
Volunteer. We can always use more volunteers, especially for the gala. There's of course that's a big logistical piece, is putting that all together, and we can use volunteers even now to help with setting up for the event on November 5th.
How can they get in touch with you?
Arthritis.org. You can look up our local chapter here in Hawaii, or my email, mmartin@arthritis.org.
Very good.
Real quick, I got a couple of questions here that we wanted to. If someone feels like, maybe do I have arthritis? I mean, what do you do? Who treats this? Where do you go? Is there?
Yes.
I'm not dumb. I'm not playing stupid. But is there
No,
like an
appreciate
arthritis doctor, or what do you do?
Yes. So, yes, the first thing to do is, of course, go to your primary care physician. Let them know your symptoms. More than likely, they will refer you to a rheumatologist. And a rheumatologist is specific in treating different forms of arthritis. And then, of course, visit arthritis.org. We have a very in-depth website on resources, how to eat, to help with inflammation and arthritis, what kinds of exercises help, what other type of pain management that you can do on your own, and of course, all the latest on prescriptions that are available out there to really educate yourself on what your doctors are prescribing to you.
Give us the website one more time.
Arthritis.org.
Oh, that's easy.
That's easy.
But that's you guys too. Did you for the Hawaii version?
Arthritis.org/Taste of the Town HI for Hawaii is for the event.
Okay.
And then arthritis.org/Hawaii for specific events here.
All right, we'll put that on social media because that's impossible to remember on the
I know.
radio.
It's
But
a
the gala is coming up
little
November 5th.
November 5th.
The Rolling Stones are playing there. She didn't want to let that out, but I'll just let everyone know. That's a
good lead-in. I'll go with that.
She can't confirm nor deny that Mick
Exactly.
and the gang will be here at the Aloha Hotel in Waikiki, but you got to go to the gala.
Exactly.
All right. Anything else you want
Be
to tell
there to
folks
be
before we let you
seen.
go?
No, go Chargers.
Chargers?
Yeah.
And that took a turn.
All right. Hey,
We're hopeful this year, Justin. Come on.
Hey, you know what? There's a lot of people that say the Chargers are going to the Super Bowl. Our very own Braden Fehoko is a Los Angeles Charger. Now, were you a San Diego fan that became a LA fan?
Born and raised in San Diego. I'm one of the last few San Diego Chargers fans, I think. But very hopeful, very hopeful.
Now,
Stay true.
if you can have a talk with Tiff Wells, he's our volleyball broadcaster.
Yes.
Now, he used to love the San Diego Chargers. He loves the San Diego Padres. I can't remember why. He's from Kailua. But when the Chargers moved to Los Angeles, he dropped them.
I was so close.
See, but why would you guys? He's still upset.
I was so angry.
He's wearing a mask because not that he doesn't care about COVID. He's just actually pouting.
I'm with you. I feel the pain. Yeah, it took a lot. It took a lot to stay loyal, but I'm loyal.
Well, who else are you going to follow? You already know. You've already invested.
Exactly.
All right.
Yeah.
I did have one listener question.
Great.
Yeah, Patrick texted in our Zephyr Insurance text line is 808-296-1420. Does diabetics affect arthritis? Does diabetes affect arthritis?
It can't. Well, diabetes can affect so many things. I don't know specifics, and I don't want to answer incorrectly. I can always circle back with some information for Patrick and give him that. But I'm a diabetic, so I can answer some of those questions on diabetes firsthand. But as far as that relates to arthritis, I don't want to give misinformation.
Of course. And Dr. Marshawn Martin, thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, good
Thank
luck with
you.
the gala, everybody.
You never know who's going to stop by, and I know sometimes that's really cliche, but that's actually kind of true right now because you never
made
know.
the really big shoe even bigger. It's even a bigger shoe.
Yeah, Dr. Tom Buning, the athletics director at Chaminade University.
Whoa, not two doctors in a row.
Yeah.
I'm feeling a little smarter.
Now, the doctor specifically in
education, higher education leadership.
Higher education and leadership, and it has certainly paid off as you're right up the road there at Chaminade. I know we've talked a little bit about the additions of baseball and beach volleyball coming up in 2023 and 2024. I had forgotten, even when we had spoken about a week and a half ago, that actually beach volleyball had been kind of on an exhibition basis prior to the announcement that it's going to become official soon.
You bet. That just talks to how valuable it is to have volleyball extend their season, and so by forming a club and playing against other teams, they really keep their ladies in shape and their minds sharp. And now we get to put it into real competition.
Right. I think we didn't mention that he's the athletic director
right.
at Chaminade. You did mention that, okay. But what I wanted was curious, and why I wanted you to pop on here real quick is, who are you? Where are you from? What's the deal? How'd you end up at Chaminade?
Oh, great question. So I arrived in 2008, the exact same time as June Jones at SMU. I came in to be, if you would, the senior associate, the chief operating officer for the athletic department, and we became fast friends. We had kids in high school. We lived near each other. And, of course, he was there to turn around the football program. I was there to turn around the facilities, the operations, and what a great marriage that was. And June did his magic, and I tried to keep up with him. And we got it done. And so 12 years later, the opportunity to move on came. I'd finished everything I wanted to do in Dallas, and this beautiful opportunity at Chaminade came available. And I asked June, I said, is this a great opportunity? He goes, oh, shoot, you're going to love it. Let's figure out how to get you there. And so that's where friends in athletics and your peer group and mentors all help out in this business to kind of guide you in the right way and help you put your talents to good use for a great school.
You could be like June Jones and play barefoot golf or golf in your slippers.
You bet.
If you have. But I mean, that the relationship and how close knit that sports community here in Hawaii certainly is, and now the gear up. You've got fall camps underway. You've got volleyball a little bit later on this month, soccer a little bit later on this month. It's going to get pretty busy now.
Oh, absolutely. And this is a special year. The Division II programs set up their championships in the fall to be a festival where they bring all the sports together. So in order to line that up, they've asked some of the school sports to start early. So, yesterday we had men's and women's soccer out there practicing along with volleyball.
Wow. You know what? If you would come back with us next month That would be awesome.
Yeah.
If you're going to be in town in September.
Oh, absolutely.
Come to the really big Rude Shoe #2, and it's going to be awesome. But we just wanted to pull you up here real quick and say hi, and nice to meet you.
Oh, it's
Thank
a
you.
thrill. It's great to talk
Congratulations.
sports, especially Silver Swords.
All right. We have our next trivia participant. Can I get your name, my friend?
Todd.
Todd. All right. Hi, Todd.
Shout out to the Danimals. I umped your games once.
All right, Todd. Which NFL team has never hosted nor played in the Super Bowl?
The Cleveland Browns.
The Cleveland Browns. Nailed it. Congratulations.
All right, guys, $25 Growler gift certificate. All you got to do, sports trivia. Name me the bowl game that Hawaii went to in 1992. If you have no idea, you can just say you have no idea.
No idea. Do you have? I have no idea. No idea. Pass.
Okay, let's try somebody else. Your name?
Justin.
And then what's your answer?
The Aloha Bowl.
No! Anybody else want to give it a try?
I was there live. Holiday Bowl.
Holiday Bowl, yes. There you go.
Years past.
I was going to say, look, the people listening on radio cannot understand just how good you two look. The Holiday Bowl season was 30 years ago. Michael, you look like you could play tomorrow. Kelly, you look like you just did like 800 pounds on the bench before you took on the headset. Like you got a pump on here. It's radio. You didn't need to do that. But you guys look fantastic, man.
All right, he's on my tab.
All right.
Yeah.
One of everything.
On this.
But I mean, it's true. How have you guys sort of kept yourselves so youthful, man?
Well, it's. I think it's a mindset more than anything. We stayed here, and it's a representation of that era. We tried to prove something. We were building blocks, and that was that whole mindset during that season. Is in Mahatanavasa, guys like that, MC. The leaders we had in the team and the conversations we had as a team were like, don't throw away this opportunity to not only build Hawaii but build your future in the community. And that doesn't really parlay into, and I appreciate the compliments, how we look, which is all false, folks. It's just a lot of beer drinking. By the way, ESPN Nation, please support this place. This was my COVID go-to place.
Oh, nice.
Bill and Al are amazing. They do have 100 beers on tap. That's the best service you can imagine. So, yeah, I'm glad you guys did that here. But that was the thing, and MC lives this every day, is what were we doing for our place in the community after that? You can only celebrate the 1992 win amongst yourselves, but how do you translate that into who you become and what do you bring back to the state? And so and that's what he says.
I think what he's talking about too is it's just a lifestyle. We bought into the lifestyle of living in Hawaii. Yeah, it's an outdoors place. It's a family place. It's a exercise, fitness type of place. We've got great athletes and actors and a lot of inspiration from Honolulu, from all over these islands, and we bought into that. Me personally, all the way, I bought into it as much as going buying me a boogie board and going out to Walls. Like any other young town kid does, except I was 35 when I did it. But I did it. And when you ask, that's what I do. I bought into that, and it was the best thing ever. Surfing life is the best life ever. If you're out there and you want to try surfing, don't do it, please.
Surfing
don't do it. Yeah, it was a mistake. But yeah, that's what it is, man. Surfing for me was great.
Yeah, I thought you were just trying to keep the waters less crowded.
That's exactly right.
All right, we got a lot more with Michael Carter, Kelly McGill, a couple of members of the 1992 team as we celebrate 30 years since the 92 win, the Holiday Bowl. I'll be honest, I was just kind of the fly on the wall here within the last couple of minutes. I mean, you lived through it 30 years ago with your dad, part of the broadcast. You guys obviously, played it. As you guys kind of get together and reminisce, I think you guys were talking about that Wyoming game coming up. I know you guys are especially looking forward to that.
You guys are going to get honored, right?
We will be getting honored, yeah. Kelly will tell more about the events, but it'll be the 30th anniversary of that 1992 Holiday Bowl WAC.
Yeah, the WAC championship
victory team.
Because that was the team you guys clinched the WAC title against, was beating
Wyoming.
Right?
I think it's by chance and great chance that we actually happen to be playing Wyoming right here at TC Ching. And so they made that the game that they're going to honor us at halftime. It's the most wonderful thing. It's an awesome thing. And I think, we need to pack the house for a lot of different reasons on that day.
Is it going to be weird when you walk in and you're honored and it's not Aloha Stadium? It's going to be that Clarence TC Ching Athletics Complex. Or do you think it's going to be a little bit cooler just because of that?
I say yes. and I don't – listen, the university has done – everything they can to create. And me and MC were watching the games during COVID, with the water bottles, no beer garden, and supporting. I won't say what's in the water bottles. We found out it was Dasani, so we took it from there. Anyhow, the university did a great job creating an intimate experience. Yeah. And I think this new and I've had Timmy and all the guys at the restaurant. They had their last couple of recruiting runs over there, and I think we got 5 out of 8 top recruits. So the energy is everybody's just so stoked. So we're really looking forward to how they build on that with this new, they added seats.
Well, what I want to ask you guys, we have Kelly McGill here, offensive lineman from that 92 team. We have Michael Carter, quarterback from that 92 team. What I want to ask you is there were 3 wins for this program the previous year in 91. How did it come together so well in 92? You started with 2 games on the road at Oregon, at Air Force. You won both, and that's when people were like, uh-oh, this might be something special.
Yeah, it started the end of the year, the sophomore year, the year we won, my sophomore year, the year we won 3 games. We lost to Notre Dame. I think we were 4-7-1 my sophomore year. We lost to Notre Dame at the end, but we played them tough all the way to the last second. And we had a bunch of guys coming back from that team. And we figured out, we knew we were good athletes and stuff, but we had some other things that we had to work out. Sort of what Timmy is doing now. The hashtag brotherhood. The brotherhood, you have to come together as teammates and brothers first. You can't have any kind of strife inside. You want to be a strong champion, it starts from the beginning. You got to take care of each other as brothers. And so from that Notre Dame game, we decided we can do this. We had a good nucleus of players coming back, and that's how we approached the next season, which was when we would go to practice as a team, do all the stuff that the coaches told us to do, and then we would meet up at the dorms afterwards with our own videotape. Back then it was VHSs, right? VHS. We'd have the defense going in a couple dorms, offense.
In between
That's how we did it. Yeah, of course we did those other things, but we literally, it was a brotherhood. We got together and we decided nobody is going to stop us from being able to win football games. We know how to do it. We just have to, make sure we're all on the same page, and that's what we did. Yeah, that's pretty much.
I think, this guy, and I'm going to be selfish and say, I was a witness to the driving force in that. This guy played like a middle linebacker. He was absolutely my hero, and he created my whole persona how I played, because the way he played quarterback is how I wanted to play offensive line. And I was just one of the few people. I think if you sat everybody on that defense here, they'd say, oh, we played the way we did by watching MC play. And we had badasses on that team.
Oh, yeah.
Tots, Faumui, Ma'a, of course, Junior Tongawai.
That was the front 3. That's crazy.
Oh, it was nuts. Hey, try going against those guys at practice. Good God.
The story ends with you guys going to that bowl game in California, the Holiday Bowl at the old Jack Murphy Stadium. You play Illinois, but they had Simeon Rice was on that team,
I
right?
played against him the whole
where you
game.
matched up with him?
Yes.
So you guys go up there. You know, this is a Hawaii team going on the road for a bowl game. I don't know how many people realistically, seriously gave you a chance. What was your mindset going in, and how did you make it happen?
Well, shoot, really, it really was easy, Kelly. Like, let's just keep it real. Like, we already knew it.
We were on a roll.
We were in Tijuana half the week. Let's just keep it real.
Yes,
all of us.
This is the kind of info that we're here for.
Yeah, and then every what was the formal function we went to?
Oh yeah, the banquet.
We were bullies. They were like the Big Ten, and we were bullying them. We had sweat runner joggers on, and they had suits and ties. And we're like, yeah, we're gonna kick you guys' butt.
Ma'a presented.
Just wait.
The banquet, and this is all the guys from Chrysler.
Yeah, we just got back from Tijuana.
Yeah, we just got back. Everybody's drinking
Wait till we
Sony
see you on
7,
Saturday.
and those who are
smoky guys.
old back then know what Sony 7 does. And
Oh,
we're
my
at the
God.
table in sweatsuits. These guys are in suits. Ma'a gets up with a blue bandana, and they had just these guys are all wearing ties and everything. They show their season highlight video, and it's a lot of trumpets and bands and cheerleaders and nice throws and rah rah rah. And then our first scene of our video is this guy, I think he's from Colorado State, and all you see is him. He's waiting for a punt, and then 5 guys just wipe him out. The last scene is against Pitt, and it's a bird's eye view of Pitt's sidelines. This is the last game we won 38-19.
At Aloha Stadium,
At Aloha
by the way.
And then it pans out, and you see 100 green jerseys charging the Pitt sidelines. Video cuts. Ma'a goes, "Where's the buffet?" We're looking at the Illinois guy's eyes. That's when we won the game.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
They didn't want it.
That is such a great.
It was over about that.
It was
time.
awesome.
Such a great recollection, and if Timmy and this coaching staff were fortunate enough to go to a bowl game in California, just remember, let the guys go to Tijuana during the week and
eat the worm.
Let them eat. Let them eat. Let them eat.
Michael Carter, Kelly
Right
McGill,
on, you
guys,
guys.
it's good to see you. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen,
You guys do a
Right
great
on, you
job,
guys.
by the way.
that was fun.
Go Bulls.
That was fun. Coach Bud's here. Michelle Nagamine, head coach of the University of Hawaii Rainbow Wahine soccer program. No, I'm not the one drinking, and I still mess that up.
What are you trying to say about us? By the way, I've had a smile from ear to ear the entire time since I showed up.
Yeah.
Find out that Kenny Harrison is a Detroit Lions fan. That made my day. Sitting next to Michael Carter and Kelly McGill, I mean, it doesn't get any better than that, hearing them recall some of their memories from the Holiday Bowl season. And now we got Bud, Coach Bud Nagamine right here. This couldn't not get any better here at Growler Hawaii.
No, I mean, she is the life of the party, and this is a place you love coming to, right?
Oh, I'm here all the time. Well, not all the time. I can't say that all the time.
Only before practice.
Only before practice. Only on the days that end with Y.
You guys have practice underway now with the season coming up. I mean, literally just weeks away, right?
That's right. We actually have our first exhibition match on Sunday. So we leave on Saturday, we fly into Phoenix, drive up to Flagstaff, and the next night play at 7,000 feet against Northern Arizona.
That is fast. I felt like the season probably should start in a couple of weeks, but that's really quick to get these exhibition matches in.
Yeah, we have one exhibition, and then we start with Grand Canyon, current WAC champion, and then Arizona State on Sunday. So Thursday, we go Sunday, Thursday, Sunday.
This is year 12 for you as head coach. It feels like it was just yesterday when you took over the job. It's just crazy how fast time flies. How have you evolved as a coach, particularly at the beginning of a season, when you get into the training, when you get into the practice? How have you changed as a coach over the course of those dozen years?
Well, I think the players have been really good for me, especially the current team that we have right now. Very communicative, they're filled with feedback. We have a lot of trust between the staff and the players, and I think when you have that kind of trust and that base, you listen to what they have to say, and everyone knows that times have changed, and we're in a different time. You see all of the bad things that happen in athletics across the country, and the people who are not able to coach this modern player that's a thinking, feeling, vocal very, and very in tune with a lot of things that are going on in the world and what's happening across the table, really. Those coaches that are not able to adapt are the ones that are getting left behind and finding themselves in really tough positions. So I would say that I've grown up a lot. I don't take it myself as seriously, and I listen. I think I've become a better listener.
You must also have been able to build a certain gauge for the kind of team that you are embarking on a new season with. You have 6 returnees that got significant time from last year. So what are you observing? What is your gut sort of telling you about the group that you have here for this season?
My gut is telling me that this is a very special group, and I have the luxury of having 11 years under my belt and starting the 12th season, and the vibe's just different. The buy-in is at an all-time high. I think we spent a lot of time in the off season, coming out of the pandemic. People discovered that other things were important to them than just what they were doing, what their sport was in college. When we had that downtime, they discovered things about themselves, and that made last year, coming back from the pandemic, really, really hard. The level of motivation from some of our more senior players, they had discovered things about themselves that were soccer was not a priority, and that was hard to manage. So I think with this group, it's a very special group and very motivated, and I'm really excited. Lots of diversity.
Coach Bud's joining us, Michelle Nagamine here at Growler Hawaii. It is the Really Big Road Show. I've heard the word special used quite a bit, not just in this circle, but outside as well. And you've coached for quite some time. When the word special is thrown around, it's not thrown around loosely because
Absolutely.
You've seen it so many times. It takes something to make this special very different than that previous special.
Right.
For you, is it, do you see it as, players coming back? I mean, you got some special players coming back too. Do you see it in the way this team is bonded? Like, how do you see that different kind of special as compared to previous years?
Yeah, I think about some of the interviews I've done in the past, and I don't think that's a word that I've used a lot. I've used many words many times, but special has not been a word that's been, first off the tongue. And what makes this group special, I believe, is their diversity. We've got 9 local girls, so a third of our roster is local. That in itself is very special at our only Division I school in the entire state. So that local flavor that we have in there makes the ohana, the feeling of ohana and taking care of each other and caring for each other, a lot different than in years past when we've only had maybe 3 or 4 local girls. So I think the diversity on the team with 5 international players, players from the Midwest, we have Missouri and Chicago, and then we've got a bunch from Colorado and Northern and Southern Cal and Arizona. It's different this year, and I love the vibe because diversity makes us all better. It helps us to see a different point of view. It helps us to understand that even though we weren't raised the same way or in the same place, if we come together with that common goal and we get that buy-in, good things can happen.
The sisterhood and the brotherhood have both kind of come together. You guys are practicing really right next to each other, right?
We are, and this has been a really, really special time for me because my dad and Timmy Chang's dad were best friends through high school, and, they were best men in each other's weddings. We grew up together, and Timmy's a lot younger than I am, and he was always the boy. Hey boy, get daddy a beer. Hey boy, go get uncle a beer. And he to see him now in the role that he has been so inspiring to me because his mom actually told me at his initial welcome home Timmy party, Michelle, can you believe that 2 local kids that grew up together in our little circle are both coaching at University of Hawaii, and it's so surreal for me, and I'm just so stoked to be a part of it. The brotherhood and the sisterhood, it's a real thing.
And does it feel like, we've seen all the stuff in the community, support from the restaurant community and so on. You feel that from the community at large, right? How that has evolved into such a bigger thing.
Oh, absolutely. And I know that the crowd here, can relate to buzzing. It's just buzzing on campus, and to have David Matlin be able to form, a team of coaches that really have each other's back and just good people. Yep. It's a trickle-down effect, and the morale has never been higher since I've been there. I'm 100% stoked with just how everything's going. It's incredible.
All right, well, let's get to the soccer stuff once again. You guys start on the road for the first time since 2012, right? You got the exhibition that you mentioned at Northern Arizona, and then at Grand Canyon, followed by at Arizona State. What are you going to find out very quickly about this team with that challenge of starting things away from home?
We're going to see what we're made of right off the bat. These trips that we take, people always ask, why do you do 3 games and why do you go and fly in and then play the next day? It's like, well, if we had a choice, we may do things differently. But these are return trips for us. Arizona State and Grand Canyon are teams that have committed to come to us every 2 to 3 years. So we've changed our strategy in our scheduling, and we're going to see right off the bat, playing 3 really good teams all in a row, what we're made of, and that's what this is all about.
Sounds like Laura Beeman has had an effect on your schedule.
Yeah, we do talk about that. We're like we check each other's temperature quite frequently. What were we thinking? But yeah, she's a good friend of mine, and we talk a lot about just strategies and collaboration, and having someone like that. She's like my sister, to just bounce ideas off of, and I trust her blindly. And I know when she needs to get it straight, she'll call me as well. So I don't take that relationship for granted.
I got one more very important question. You say you hang out here every now and then. We're at Grambler, Hawaii, on Kapahulu Avenue. They have like 94 beers and ciders or whatever it is. When you are here, and obviously it's on an off day, obviously you're left to your own devices.
We're always responsible, and you know what?
Exactly.
We don't drink and drive.
Exactly.
We're very responsible.
That goes without saying. What I want to ask is, what is the go-to beverage?
Oh, the go-to beverage that we discovered and then basically did a little dance party after was Space Dust.
What?
Yep. Space Dust, because you only need 2.
Oh, there you go. And then you're dust.
Yeah, exactly. Or I leave you in mine.
Michelle Nagamine, ladies and gentlemen, Rainbow Wahine softball soccer coach. Coach, it's good to see you.
Thanks, guys.